Using only renewables for our energy needs. Sounds like a dream, right? Or paradise? Actually, it sounds a lot like Costa Rica. The Central American country is a pioneer. During more than 250 days in 2016, Costa Rica ran just on renewable energy. That's more than 7 months. Throughout the year, an astounding 98.12% of energy produced was renewable, a mix of geothermal, wind, biomass, and solar energy. The biggest amount, however, came from hydroelectric plants. In fact, the biggest dam in the region was inaugurated in September 2016. Others are following suit. Since January 1st, all electric trains in the Netherlands are running only on wind energy. At the Climate Change Conference in November 2016, 48 countries agreed to use only renewables by 2050. Many of those countries, like the Marshall Islands and Bangladesh, will be the first to be impacted by rising sea levels. Falling prices are easing the transition. In the last 6 years, solar energy prices have fallen between 80 and 90%, onshore wind by close to 40%, and offshore wind by 30%.
We can see that renewable energy, instead of being like hippie talk like it was, say, 10 years ago when we all sat around and said, wouldn't it be great if we were getting our power from solar energy and from windmills and things? Wouldn't it be great? It was just like hippie talk. But now it's becoming reality.
Great, well, that's that then. It's the dawn of a new era. Green is definitely the new black. Not so fast. Only 18% of energy produced around the world comes from renewable sources, and several projects have fallen flat. In Tasmania, Australia, a severe drought crippled hydroelectric plants. On El Hierro, a Spanish island, an expensive wind turbine and pumped hydro storage system failed to produce an even amount of electricity throughout the day and throughout the year. Both El Hierro and Tasmania ended up going back temporarily to fossil fuels. A successful transition to 100% renewable energy is dependent on certain factors. So far, every country or region that's incorporated renewables has been sparsely populated with little industry. Costa Rica, for example, has just 5 million inhabitants. In Kenya, where 83% of energy is renewable, more than a quarter of electricity comes from geothermal sources. Wind, however, is an inconsistent energy source. Sometimes Denmark's turbines provide 100% of the country's energy needs, but on average they provide just 40%, depending on the weather. Until now, we've been slow to develop methods of storing sunlight and wind energy. Silicon Valley powerhouse Tesla was the first to unveil lithium batteries large enough to supply electricity to an entire home. Other technologies exist, and still more are in development. McPhy Energy is a French tech company that has found a way to store hydrogen. The company's solid disks can hold up to 150 kilos of it, enough to power a small city for a month. Lastly, governments around the world have to put their money where their mouth is. Global renewable energy investments totaled $305 billion in 2015, but that's got to grow to an average of $900 billion per year until 2030 if the Paris Climate Agreement is to be implemented. If not, we'll miss our goal of staying within 2 degrees Celsius of pre-industrial revolution levels. Our guest gives us his take on why there isn't more political will and how we, as ordinary citizens, can change that.
Right now, there is a clear fight between the old world, oil, nuclear, gas, against the new world efficiency renewables. It's an issue of big money. But clearly now the world reality is that a majority of new electricity production capacity are renewable. About 60% of any new electricity production plant is renewable. So the old world is going toward renewables because it is competitive and because it is decentralized and because it is a citizen energy. Going towards a decentralized system is quite a strong move from state to say that I will not control everything. Citizens are taking over the energy system. In Germany, more than half of renewable energy is owned by citizens or citizens cooperative, not by the big companies. And it is an absolute revolution in the energy system.
Citizens are stepping in where governments are lagging behind. To name just one initiative, Citizen Energy will match private investors with renewable energy projects across Europe. No matter how we get there, one thing is clear: the future is in renewables. Our health and our planet depend on it.